This segment brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Welcome back, folks. And we've got some really cool paranormal stories. And I have to tell you, when I first moved to Kansas in 1992, I was in the bookstore in Topeka. And I was going to Washburn University, so I'm checking out the psychology section. I was taking a couple of classes. And right next to me, there was a gentleman in the paranormal section. And so he's like, well, have you read this book? No, I hadn't read any of those books. And he proceeds to tell me that he was on his way to a conference of people who had been abducted by aliens. And apparently there were several folks from around the community that were going to carpool and go to this conference. And I guess he perceived that I was a little doubtful, so he pulled up his pant leg and showed me the probe marks on his leg, which looked dangerously like a rattlesnake bite to me. But harkening back to a show a couple of weeks ago, he'd definitely been bitten by something. But that was interesting. I had never met anyone before who had been abducted by aliens until I moved to Kansas. So, yeah, do you know anybody that's been abducted?
No.
I bet you do. You just haven't talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. They see you on that chopper, they're going to want you bad. I know. Or me flying around on this broomstick. We're probably next. They're lining up experiment tables for us right now, Frank.
Yeah.
We got a cool story from out in western Kansas. Another really cool ghost story.
Jacob's Well is in Clark County, shy of 40 miles south of Dodge City. A pool about 30 yards across and 18 feet deep. Actually a sinkhole that was believed for years to be bottomless. The Wichita Eagle published this report on October 22, 2011. We think it will still bring a chill to your bones. At St. Jacob's Well near Ashland, legend has it that a horse and a rider were drowned in the horseshoe well that lies at the bottom of High Canyon. On October 27, 1924, the Dodge City Globe reported a Daddy Walters had heard the shrieks of both man and animal. It was about 1 o'clock on a moonlit summer night, and I was kinder wakeful, so I came out here for a breath of air and a peaceful pipe or two. Well, I got the air all right, but not the pipe, for just as I was filling her in with tobacco, I seen a man on a horse standing on the ridge around the pool, Daddy Walters was quoted as saying. I kept watching him, kinder curious like, 'cause it was pretty late for a man to be riding around in these parts at that time, Daddy Walters continued. I suppose he had come there to water his horse, and sure enough, he disappeared down the rim, and I knowed he was riding down to the pool at the bottom. I hadn't heard no sounds until I was just a-lightin my pipe, and suddenly I heard the most blood-curdling sound you ever made on this here earth. It nigh froze me stiff, though I knowed right away it was the sound made by a dying horse. Have you ever heard a dying animal? I grabbed my old nag out of the stable and tore down there as fast as I could, but it was too late. When I looked over the rim of that pond, oh Satan, there weren't a dad-blasted ripple on the whole thing, and nary a sign of man or beast.